Hello everyone and welcome. We're happy to showing you off the first version of CIB a process analysis tool that helps you truly understand how your business processes are performing and where you can improve them. CIB gives you an overview of your processes performance at a glance. The total identifies bottlenecks, delays, and potential for optimization. No technical knowledge required. Thanks to intuitive data analysis, departments and management alike can make data-driven decisions that will make your organization noticeably more efficient. So, I'm here with Guillermo, the product owner of CIB to show you a little bit more. Guillermo, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tom. So, hi everyone, I'm Guilherme, and as Tom just said, I'm here to show the first version of CIB Insight. CIB Insight is a process analysis tool that will help you truly understand how your processes are performing and how you can improve them. So, with CIB Insight, we start with the global overview page of our BPMN data. Here we can see instantly how many processes have started, were finalized successfully, average process duration, etc., etc. This information is filtered by three fields: process, on which you can select all processes or a specific one, version, and time frame for them. Please bear in mind that this is artificial data generated fully for demonstration purposes. This already allows you to understand how your processes are performing. You can see how many times they are starting, how many incidents you have. You can see how many times they are successfully being completed, and you can also plot them through time to better understand it that way. Now, switching to process analysis bottleneck. This is our first process analysis page. In the future, the goal is to have different process analysis pages. This one is directed to process bottlenecks. So this page allows you to see firstly a heat map. You can see a heat map of your BPMN diagram, and here you will be seeing exactly what it is happening inside of it. This heat map has several options. The first one is average duration. What does this mean? It will basically plot the activities in red, so the darker color, the ones that are taking more time to run than the others. So you could already see this is the one that is taking more time. Let me now give you a little bit more context about this BPMN process so that we can analyze it together. So this is a really simple and straightforward process. Basically, it starts with the user task about document uploads. So the user would upload a document. Then it has an AI classification that will classify the document as good or not. So yes or no. Yes being, let's say, if the document has the needed data, if it is not blurry, etc., etc., and no if it does not match the parameters. After that, if the document is good, then we have a quick document review. If it's not, then it needs a more detailed review. After that, the user that has uploaded it needs to approve the document. And on the end, we end with a manager review to finalize the whole process. So what can we already conclude out of this analysis? We can see, as I mentioned before, that the approved document activity is the one that is in red. So it's the one that takes more time. Also bear in mind that we are analyzing data from 32 instances. So this process, this version for this time frame has run successfully 32 times, and we have an average duration of 6 minutes, 15 seconds. As you can see, this is the one that takes more time. It runs on average on 3 minutes, 45 seconds. It had a minimum duration of 8 seconds, so we had a really quick time that it was ran, and also a max one of 25 minutes to seconds. So there was also one time when it was ran that took too much. So we can already understand that pretty much everything is quite fast, so it takes just a couple seconds, but this task here takes a lot of time. Now, another feature that we offer inside of our heat map is that you can see the average waiting time between tasks. Let's say, for example, that you are the user that uploads and approves the document. So you have to wait between those two user tasks to see some progress. You could click on one task and on the second one, and it will show you the average waiting time. So in this case, the time it takes after this first activity that we click finalizes, and to the time that the second activity we click starts, it's 1 minute 23 seconds. This means that the user that does this first and this second task needs to wait 1 minute and 23 seconds on average to work on the second one. Now, let's say for another scenario, you are the manager and you need to approve the process on the end. You would click the first one and your task, and you say that you have 5 minutes 19 seconds of waiting time. So now you know that you need to wait on average this amount of time instead of being just looking at your screen and waiting for it to show up. Another way that we can see the heat map is on a count view. So count basically plots the number of times each activity has ran. As you know, we are analyzing 32 instances, so pretty much every activity runs 32 times. Where is this useful? In cases such as this, on which we have a gateway, and we can see that we have run 32 times up until here, but then it splits. We have 12 times this path, 20 times this path. This allows you to see what actually runs. In this case, which is an AI classification, we can basically get the conclusion of we are only doing the quick document review, so the document is only good 12 times. This would allow the user to maybe understand, okay, this was not what I was expecting, I need to change the code. It will also work on scenarios, for example, if you have activities that have never ran, maybe you can optimize your process a little bit more. Continuing on this page, we then have an instance duration graph. What does this show the user? It basically shows you the duration that each instance has ran plotted across time. It uses a statistical IQR method to calculate outliers. So basically, it will share to the user what it has automatically calculated as instances that take more than expected. This works for positive, so more than expected, or negative, so less than expected. If you would have any instances that were actually quicker, it would show, but in this case, we have no negative outliers. Looking into the outliers that we have, the statistical method has calculated that any instance that takes more than 7 minutes and 54 seconds will be considered an outlier. We can see information about that here. You have a link to go to Cockpit to see more detailed information, but you can already see that the instance that took more time than the others took 32 minutes, 32 seconds. The longest task was approved document, and it took 25 minutes. Let's say now that the user thinks that what should be considered an outlier are instances that take more than 6 minutes. Then this bar is adjustable. You can just drag it here and basically say, okay, this is also an outlier, and now I can analyze it as well. This is another feature that we added that will allow the user to basically disagree with the statistical analysis and say, okay, for me, an outlier is a different thing. I want to analyze that as well. But basically, we give to you the ability to get data about those instances. Continuing down the page, then we have a version duration graph. This shows data for each version of the process that is being analyzed. On this way, you can compare information about versions. For example, version 1, we can see we had an average duration of 2 days, 9 hours. And right now, on the current one, the 21st version, we only have 6 minutes of average duration. This allows the user to understand the duration plotted throughout the versions. So we now see that throughout the optimizations we have done, it takes now less time. For example, if the user were to improve our process here on the heat map, so let's say we want to focus on the activity that takes more time, if we could improve that average and diminish the average duration of these instances, on the 22nd version, we would see that improvement. So basically, this is what we have developed for the first version of CIB Insight. More features and more analysis will come. As I said, this is basically to allow you to fully understand what is happening inside your processes. You do not need to guess. You can now analyze them. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you very much, Guillermo. This was a very, very nice glance of CIB Insight, what's going to come. And it's so easy to set up and so easy to connect to your CIB 7. So that's a very, very helpful tool. Thank you guys very much. Make sure to subscribe for the content that will be coming. Make sure to leave a like or comment. Contact us in case you're interested. And we wish you guys a happy day. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you.